All right, I low key feel like keeping this video kind of a short and sweet thing because I've never really done any type of video about Showdown, and I don't consider myself a authoritative speaker of it, but I also like talking about Showdown, so I figure why not? What the fuck? Um, and this would be like a pretty easy entry point. Like it's the tiering shifts. There's always a lot to talk about with these, but I'm gonna keep it short. This video is not gonna be very long. Um, and I think in exchange for that, I'm probably not going to edit it much at all. I think I'll just let myself ramble for a couple minutes. So, fucking tier shifted. Um, the Steel Mask DLC came out in September, around the middle of September. And what that means is it brings some new Pokemon and a lot of returning Pokemon. And those Pokemon will all go straight into OU, which is the main tier. And the main like OU usually has like 30 something Pokemon, like 35, 36, 37. And so this had a couple dozen more than that. And just like a lot of returning Pokemon because they start in OU and then drop down or up to where they need to go, to where they're more fitting power wise. So that's why you see in this chart why there's just like a shit ton of things dropping to OU, or dropping from OU. Because like stuff like Dusk Noir, Cramorant, I don't know about this specifically, but you know what I mean? Like Macargo, Golem, Arbok, Ariados, like stuff that's not going to be competing in OU. Like those things obviously are lower tier Pokemon, so they were only here because they are new. And so then on the first of every month, Pokemon, tiering shifts happen, so they get lowered. The thing is, though, I don't know, some tiering shifts in OU are expected, obviously, like these lower ones. But then there's some legitimately strong OU Pokemon that are now dropping to UU, which is kind of nutty. I have a list of highlights, I guess. But I mean, you can clearly, if you know anything about OU, you can tell some of them. So Garchomp finally dropping to UU is insane. There was a couple other like really dramatic drops like that with Tyranitar. I feel like there's another Pokemon in that club. Like I think there's probably some Dragon Pokemon that dropped that I can't think of right now. But they've been OU like all their lives, just really genuinely strong Pokemon, like stands the test of time, been the best through multiple metagames. So for them to just fucking drop is crazy, and it just goes to show how batshit Gen 9 is. And with terrestrialization and stuff, like Pokemon can just pull off some whack shit. So Garchomp dropping, that's something a lot of people are talking about. Garganacl dropping, I think is interesting. I don't know how much I've seen him recently in OU, but he was very damn annoying when he was big. Like he used to have a ton of usage, and he was very annoying to deal with, but he's kind of petered out a little bit. But him dropping is still like, didn't necessarily expect it. Heatran dropping, I don't know. I was under the impression he's been OU for a long time too, if not all of his time. And like, I've barely used him or acknowledged him until very recently. The last couple weeks I've been using Heatran, and he's very good. So him dropping too, like, there's just notable Pokemon that were up there that are not up there right now. The new legendary trio, the like Poison, Toxic Chain, Loyal 3 guys, Monkey Dory, Okidoki, and Pheasantipity, them dropping, I am not surprised by necessarily, just because I feel like they're all good, more or less, but I feel like any of their shortcomings don't really stand against the crazy shit that's happening in OU. I think some of them will stay in UU. Like I think Pheasantipity might drop again, but Monkey Dory and Okidoki could hang out there. Meowscarada dropping from OU is kind of nutty because Meowscarada is my favorite OU Pokemon right now, and just it's either her or Dondozo are my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon, period. Which the fact that Dondozo is still hanging on, I'll get to that. But Meowscarada dropping, that's for one nutty. I'm still going to use her because I think she's still incredibly good. I think she's a really strong lead. I've never really changed the set. Like she just leads a Flower Trick, knockoff, U-turn taunt. Like I don't know. She served me very well, so she's sticking around, Vanessa. But right next to her, Rotom Wash dropping. I feel like that's not a first for him. Like, he's been up and down a little bit, but Rotom Wash is always really good. Just a really good pivot. That Hydro Pump, the Volt Switch, like, and he can always spread status, whether it's Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp. Like, he's just pretty reliable to annoy people. I don't know, man. He's always a safe pick. So him dropping a UU means he's going to be even better in OU. And alongside him, Pelipper dropping means rain teams. He's kind of like, because of Pelipper's ability Drizzle, which makes it so he sets up rain whenever he like comes into the field. That's obviously really fucking good because then you don't have to spend a turn to use Rain Dance. He can just exist and automatically bring rain. And then that can boost Pokemon like Floatzel or Basculegion, like that can with Swift Swim, where it just makes them crazy fast in the rain. Like, it's gonna enable shit like that. And Manaphy with Hydration, which did Manaphy drop? Manaphy could not have dropped. Yeah, Manaphy didn't drop. I'll get to that too. Like, I'll get to the OU usage, but Pelipper, like for Pelipper, to my understanding, Pelipper being like the focal point of a lot of rain teams. Like, the rain team's effectiveness kind of relies on where Pelipper's at. So for Pelipper being an OU for a decent amount of time, it means it's kind of lower tier partners, like Floatzel, like you'd have to punch up, you know? Like, because what tier is Floatzel's NU? And is he still NU? Yeah, he's still NU. Meaning, to bring an NU Pokemon to OU is obviously pretty bold. He can work really well in OU if, you know, with the right circumstances. If he gets boosted with rain and he can just like hit really hard, he can be good. But he's gonna be better in UU, because obviously, you know, UU is technically should be worse than OU. Not technically, like that's, I don't know, you know what I mean. So I don't know. Wherever the lower Pelipper goes, I feel like the more dangerous rain teams become, because then they can just get enabled to do crazier shit. So I think Floatzel's gonna enjoy that. I'm definitely gonna try a rain team in UU. Walking Wake is still in OU, which would be he would have been a good teammate, but I'm sure there's water Pokemon you can use down in UU too. Like Azumarill dropping too. I've seen so many Azumarills in OU, so I don't fully believe that its usage was low enough to drop it, but sure enough. Amoonguss dropping, he's got Spore, which that in itself is like really fucking annoying and effective, and he's down. Cresselia dropping. It's always just kind of trippy to see legendaries dropping from OU. So he's down there. And then stuff I'm excited about, Rillaboom rising to OU. I fucking love Rillaboom too. And Rillaboom's really fun. I would have loved, I guess you can still use him and Meowscarada together, but you know what I mean? Like them in OU being a duo, that would have been nice. Or them both being in UU, that would have been insane. But I really love Rillaboom, and him getting his Grassy Glide back. So he can just hit really fucking hard when he has grassy terrain up. That's going to be great. That's going to be fun. Roaring Moon rising to OU. I don't know much about Roaring Moon. I mean, there's not much to know. I just know he's a really strong Dark Dragon. Like, I feel like he's been a bit up and down. And he was obviously too good for UU since he was in the ban list. Blissey rising all the way from NU to OU. I think that was just because she got a move back. I think she got Toxic back. No, she didn't get Toxic back. What made her rise? She had to have gotten Toxic back. Okay, what the fuck changed with her? Because I feel like she's very standard. Like, she's very clean cut. Like, she does her thing, and she does it well. Shit, man, what did she gain to make her rise so high? Because I could swear it was Toxic. I know Toxic got really limited distribution. Okay, well, this doesn't want to load, but we'll get back to her, I guess. The other interesting thing, though, and this might just be the last general topic I guess I ramble about. Like, we've seen the shit that's dropped. Okay, this page didn't load, so that's good. We've seen the shit that's dropped. We've seen some of the shit that's rising. UU is going to be a shit show, it looks like, because there's just a lot of crazy-ass shit that's right down there. I think Yu is probably going to be pretty fun. I'm probably going to screw around in Yu. And the funny part about all the OU drops to Yu is that now Yu is going to be wild, I'm pretty sure, for a month until their stuff gets filtered down. So that's going to be something, because nothing left Yu. Nothing dropped from Yu. Oh, okay. Well, a couple things did. But you know what I mean? Like, not a lot. And we got a lot more added to Yu. So Yu is going to be... There's going to be hands in Yu. And the top in Yu right now was Iron Treads, Tornadus, Alomomola, Rillaboom, who's now risen, Caesar, Ursaluna, Skeledirge, Cleavor, Thundurus, Arcanine. Yeah, like, all of this new shit, there's going to be some wacky shit happening. Most definitely. Where is Tyranitar at? I think Tyranitar is in RU. Jesus, dude. Okay. Now, usage for September. So this is just all the stuff that is in this. This is our new OU now. Now that all of the fluff from the DLC has been cleaved off, this is what we're left with. And oh man, am I quote unquote happy to still see fucking King Hibbit here at 41 usage. I think King Gambit's kind of annoying, and it might just be a case of like, it might not necessarily be a slight on him, but it's just, you know, you never want to see something in the number one spot all the time. It gets a little boring. Like Great Tusk used to be 50 something usage, now it's 30. See, there's like some balance. Iron Valiant is 26, Goldengo, like they've been chilling there, and that's fine. Ursaluna Blood Moon is still getting suspect tested, like, or he might get banned. I don't think he would. Let's see, are they still talking about, has there been a development with that? Let's see if there's been a development. I don't know, I guess we would get results. Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna figure out about that just yet. But a lot of people have been using him. I'm just realizing too, in videos like these, normally they go over specific sets. Maybe I'll set that up for next time. Like, they usually have some sets loaded up to talk about Pokemon. But I don't have the brightest mind about making sets, so I'll improve that. But Ogerpon, Wellspring, because fucking Hearthflame got banned. The fire one? What the fuck is it? Yeah, it's in parentheses, because it got banned. That's nutty too. So we're left with 2 Ogerpons in OU, and then the Grass Mask dropped to UU. I've been seeing a lot of that. I've been seeing a lot of Iron Moth again. And Iron Moth has always been very good. Gliscor, even without Roost, is cooking in 8th, which is nutty. Dragapult in 9th, Cinderace in 10th, like, you know, just kind of standard shit. And you'll see, like, down here, like, Hatterene and Corviknight, like, stuff you would expect to still be in OU after all this time. Glamora. Zamazenta is rising, I think. I don't think he was that high last time. I think a lot of people are underestimating that fucking Zamazenta is an OU. Like, I know he's not Zacian, but he's still a fucking strong legendary. So I think he's going to cook here. I hate that I'm saying cook, sorry. Roaring Moon getting 13 in usage all while he was UUBL is kind of a power move. So yeah, he very much rose up. Dragonite, Clefable, yeah, you know, just stuff you would expect. Manaphy, Ninetales, the fucking Aurora Veil set, like, that's still extremely common. Sneasler I have not bumped into this entire time, so him being there is surprising to me. I'm also surprised, I love Dondozo. I'm surprised he's still here after all this time. He's not moved, I don't think. And, like, I get that he is Unaware, that's one of the best abilities. He's crazy tanky, he's just a wall, and he's fun. I might start using him again. I kind of wanted to, like, change up my main team. Empoleon is up here? Damn, I didn't even notice that. Okay. Because a lot of people were talking about the buffs that Empoleon and Torterra got. Empoleon got competitive, I'm pretty sure. Which, I can't remember what that does. This Pokemon special attack is raised by 2 for each of his stats lowered by a foe. Which that can fucking mean that he just gets his special attack pumped up. He can get that up really fast. And he's got some nutty shit he can work with. He's got Hydro Pump. He can even have Trailing Water. He wants to screw around. He's got Ice. He's got Grass Knot. That's really good. And he's obviously a heavy-ass Steel type, so Grass Knot's going to be good. Terra Blast, you could Terra something. You know, even though Water and Steel is pretty decently tanky. So Empoleon's gonna have some fun. I didn't realize he was an OU, man. I haven't seen a ton of him. Torkoal still being in 27th. I think that's just because he and Walking Wake probably enable each other pretty well. Where's Wake? Where's Walking Wake? Oh, okay, 16th. Forgot about that. Rillaboom also being an OU, or being in UU at the time and finishing with 22nd usage in OU. That's a power move, so obviously he fucking skyrocketed it up too. I want to know what Rabombi does to be 25th. Maybe I can load up the Smogon site this time. Yeah, what does it do? Sticky... Oh, fucking Sticky Webber. Yeah, and Quiver Dance. Okay. Yeah, that's standard. I should probably start using that. My problem is I'm really bad at hazard clearing, so I get screwed over by Sticky Web pretty often. Yeah. Alright. The other interesting thing, though, is that Lando's Therian, the very infamous dude, just barely missed the cutoff for OU when he's been, like, the scourge of competitive for his entire life. So, whoo, boy. Some wacky shit, man. I don't know. I always think the tiering shifts are always very interesting, and the stats and the usage stats and blah blah blah. Like, I just kind of love statistics for dumb shit like this. And this chart, I always lose my mind when I see this chart. Like, I'm like, oh, so cool. Look at the guys moving up and down. I think my biggest takeaway is that UU is going to be a scrap fest right now. Let me see what UU already has. Alomomola, which I've seen a lot in OU, honestly. So, Arcanine, Basculegion, Breloom, Chestnut, Cyclosaur, Donphan, Enamorous, Gengar. Yeah, there's a lot of good shit in UU, man. And now there's a lot of even more good shit just dumped onto them. UU is gonna be a fucking mess, and that honestly seems really fun. Because you just get all of these fucking new tools dumped in alongside, like, the Pokemon that are already really good here. So UU is going to get rocked. And that'll be fun. What we're left with in OU is something to think about, I guess. And maybe I just might start hanging out in UU more, especially because Meowscarada's down there now. Because I like OU, and it's the tier I play the most, but, you know, you kind of get bored facing the same Pokemon over and over, and it's not like it's the exact same Pokemon over and over. But, you know, this top four, this has been the top four, like, the entire time, more or less, you know? Like, there's some new faces. Like, we got Gliscor up here, we got the Ogerpon, Zamazenta's higher now. You know, like, obviously shit's changed, and Manaphy, like, shit's changed because of the DLC. And I don't even want to fight Ninetales anymore with the screens, with Aurora Veil. I don't really want to fuck with it. I might just start playing UU more. And I think that's fair. Like, obviously, yeah, I don't know. I just think there's more. It looks like already in UU, and with all the new shit dropping into it, it seems like there's going to be a lot of fun, wacky shit happening in UU. So that's probably where I'll be hanging out. Especially with Meowscarada being down there. So I don't know. I'll take a look at, like, this video, which I don't think it's been that long. It had to have been less than 10 minutes, I think. 19 minutes? Damn, dude. Wow, I can fucking yap. Okay. 19 minutes. I'll cut it down a little, maybe. Maybe I'll upload it just as is. I just kind of had the idea of wanting to make a ramble about this because I think it's fun. I think it's neat. I mean, the bulk of this was me pointing at different Pokemon and being like, oh, this shit's crazy. This shit's going to be crazy. This shit's going to be crazy. But I think it's neat. I could even maybe later today have a more in-depth version. Like, maybe I'll actually make some sets and look at, like, what they're going to do where. But I don't know, man. You know, like, this shit's so unpredictable and so fluid. Like, stuff gets moved and up and down. So, I don't know. There's always a lot subject to change, and right when you get a grasp on the things that are there, they change. You know, like something gets moved, tiering happens. So we'll see the tiers as they progress, I guess. And maybe at the end of the month or on the 1st of November, maybe I'll make another one of these. Maybe I'll make a Showdown video in between then. Maybe I'll talk about, I don't know, the Pokemon, how UU is doing and how OU is doing. Because I don't know. The reason I'm hesitant to make videos like that is because I feel like I have a lot to learn. And I still definitely do. Because again, the videos that I watch of these kinds usually talk about specific sets and like have a more knowledgeable mind about like how Garchomp is going to do in UU compared to its competition here. Like some people can look at this group of Pokemon and like pick out like the standouts and like what's going to do what where. I don't know. It's a lot. I don't know. But I also just love how much information there is and how much there is to take in. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll probably cut off my ramble here, but I think this was neat. I'll fucking post it. You know, this honestly, this could just probably go as background noise. Like if you just want to hear about some Pokemon that's in tears and you're like, oh, this is cool. This thing's in UU now. There you go. You could listen to me fucking ramble about it without any like useful knowledge. Just highlights. I don't know. Like you could look at this image and get the same amount of information I'm speaking right now. That's fine. I had some amount of fun, so who cares? I'll listen back to this, and I might not even upload this version. Maybe I'll re-record it. But yeah, fucking happy Showdown, bro.